Welcome home, Moon Goddess. Oh, you're the genuine article. Alice was right. This moon prayer night was worth watching after all.
Another one that talks.
Greetings. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I am the Hexenzirkel member they call B. Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Columbina Hyposelenia. Pleased to meet you too.
Hyposelenia. A fine name indeed. Now then, Miss Columbina, do you wish to hear a mage's divination?
Divination? The Frost Moon Scions used to ask me what would happen in the future. Is this like that?
From the perspective of the one seeking answers, perhaps. As you look to your journey ahead, if you seek to understand the unknown, resolve your doubts, and soothe the confusion in your heart, divination could be for you.
The unknowns on my journey.
Of course, if one wishes to peer into fate, then hydromancy is the more precise option. But that is a complex affair, and to relegate that majestic art to the status of a festive amusement would seem somewhat uncouth. Besides, it is sometimes better to not know fate with great certainty. Hence, I shall use the suitably festive Luna Arcana to tell your fortune instead. It is more popular with the youth in any case.
Lunar Arcana.
Indeed. Unlike hydromancy, this will only display possibilities and trends. People like to think of themselves as creatures of agency and free will. Peering too far and too clearly into the future is detrimental to both body and soul.
I'd like to give it a try.
Of course you may. Come then, take a seat, Miss Columbina. Before we begin, are there any specific questions you would like to ask?
Let's stick to general possibilities and trends, like you suggested.
Ah, very well. Then I shall use the basic Lunar Arcana deck. Now, try to relax. Cast your mind upon the things you have experienced and the things you are soon to experience. I will shuffle the deck. Would you like to cut the cards yourself?
You do it.
No problem. Now then, to make things easier for the seeker, that is to say, you, I shall decipher the cards from your perspective. Please, draw the first Lunar Arcana. This represents destiny and is the foundation for the divination as a whole. Now, draw your second card. This will stand for the past, the sum of all your experiences that have come before. And now the third Arcana. This is the present, your interpretation of the current moment. Finally, the last card. This shall speak of the future, which... Oh.
Kuvaki Pulse?
Fascinating. I've never encountered this before in my role as a diviner. Something has exerted an influence upon this card, causing it to leave its designated position. What do you make of this, Miss Columbina? Perhaps this is the guiding hand of fate in action. Of course, if you wish, you can choose to deny the validity of this card and draw the future for yourself.
No, it's fine. Let's go with this one.
A bold decision. I must say I'm looking forward to the results. Well then, let us flip the lunar arcana in sequence and see what emerges.
Sure.
First, Destiny. No surprises here. The card that represents yours is the moon.
The moon.
Indeed. The moon can represent the truth at some times, but deception at others. False peace, destructive calamity, and the world-changing power that lies within. When the moon is placed on the destiny tile, it indicates that your destiny is not what it may appear on the surface. Instead, it may yet have a hidden side. It symbolizes a journey through the fog, fraught with uncertainty and deception, where one must face inner challenges head-on.
I don't understand.
Patience, my dear. This is but the first card, which serves as a basis for the interpretations that follow. Our divination will only grow clearer from here on out. Now then, flip the second card, the one that speaks for the past. The Hermit, but inverted.
Inverted?
Yes. The Hermit symbolizes solitude, introspection, and the pursuit of truth. When inverted, it represents isolation, truth out of reach, and a path that leads one astray. Combined with the moon as one's destiny, the Hermit inverted represents a choice you made to stand alone in the past. It was a choice made not out of fear or arrogance, but for reasons that others could not perceive. You fumbled through the darkness without a guide, but you did not find your way. Rather, you went astray. More than once, it would seem.
Is this about how I became Kutar despite not wishing to become a god? And how I joined the Fatui because I yearned for a place to belong?
I suspect only you know the answer to this question. All is not lost. The past is in the past, and so it shall remain. Shall we look into the present now? Oh my. The Lovers. One of the most interesting Lunar Arcana.
What does this one mean?
This means that you have had an unprecedented emotional experience. The joy of finding your soul becoming intertwined with that of another. A precious and wonderful thing indeed.
It's true. I've made a lot of friends recently, and they are very good to me. I like them a lot.
That sounds lovely. I am most delighted for you. The Lovers can also represent important decisions, perhaps related to a parting of ways. Now, if I were to guess...
Yes. I return to the moon.
I understand. Parting with friends is never easy, Columbina. But rest assured, this is not the end of your journey. There is always another story waiting to be told. The future always lies ahead.
The future.
Well now, it's finally time to flip this most mysterious of cards. Why did it appear? And what does it wish to tell you?
I'm ready.
Very well. Flip this card and see what lies on the other side. Oh.
Miss Barbeloth? What is it?
This card is death.
That doesn't sound very good.
It depends on how we interpret it. It is true that it can represent an agonizing death, a complete and utter end, but at the same time, it can also represent rebirth. Do not forget that your destiny card is the moon. That lends your future many different potential meanings.
If death spells the end, is it unavoidable?
As I have said, divination can only display general trends. It is a rough guide, but it does not show predetermined outcomes. Allow me to summarize it for you. In the past, you may have lost your way, but now you have gained new connections and new strength. You now face an important decision, one that may bring about a great change in what is yet to be. This change might, in turn, be the end of all things, or their beginning. But remember, everything is subject to change because of the moon present in your destiny. You must see the truth clearly and face your innermost thoughts.
The truth. My innermost thoughts. Thank you, Miss Barbeloth.
Don't mention it. Some people dislike divinations, for fear of glimpsing an ending to their story that they wish was not so. But I can see that you're different. The result of this divination will not sway your decision. This is a rare quality, and one that diviners always hope to see in the seeker. We are here merely to guide, not to exert undue influence.
I understand.
Go then and illuminate your future, Miss Columbina. The moonlight that shines from you now is most... The death card made a most enigmatic appearance. The moon for which Miss Columbina is bound, I fear. Fretting is of no avail. I will have a chat with Alice about it sometime. Ah, you're such a polite child, Miss Columbina. But we elders have already partaken of our fair share of stories in this world. Enjoying candy, keeping up with the hip and groovy trends of the day. Oh, these things should be left to youngsters like you. I hope you don't misunderstand me. I do not intend to lecture you or reject your kindness. It is simply that the mere sight of this candy is starting to give me a toothache.
Miss Liliki! A kitten's been following you all this time.
Oh, so it has. Hello there, little kitty. May the moon light your path. Did Lady Llama send you? Or was there something you needed? You'd like some moon prayer candies? No?
I believe it wants that box. The one with the moon prayer candies in it.
Oh, I see. Here, kitty. Come on. Here you go. Thank you, Lady Mr. Cantor, did you see that young lady dressed as the moon goddess? When did she leave?
Sorry, no, I was looking at... I was watching the... cat.
I see. The resemblance was uncanny. She seemed like the true Lady Kutar, the one who guides souls.
I don't have enough data. Need more samples. But who should I ask for help?
Is this one of the amusements? Or is it a research project?
Bit of column A, bit of column B. I'm currently running some synchronization tests on these bots. Basically, you need to press the button to help them successfully obtain the treasure. But you've got to time it right. I'll record your data, which will be used to improve the robot's accuracy. But, ma'am, I mean, Moon Goddess, don't you think you should take your eye mask off first?
There's no need. I will be all right.
Okay then. Whatever you're comfortable with. Great. Then let's begin. Would you like to try again? I'll record your data, which will... Would you like to try again? I'll record your data, which will be used to improve the robot's accuracy. Nice! Data collection complete. Cool! So much useful data. I'm progressing much faster than I expected. Thank you so much, Moon Goddess.
Traveler,
Hey there, Columbina! Are you done checking out the festive amusements already? Are you sure you don't want to look around some more? You might not get another opportunity like this for a while.
right now, what I'd like to do is... Thank you. But I think I've had enough fun for one night. I've made plenty of precious memories.
Really? You're sure you don't want to have a little more fun out there? Final answer!
Yes, I am sure. This was the most fun I've ever had on a moon prayer night. Everywhere I went, people were saying, "Welcome home," and there were friends at every turn. I only wish it could last longer than one night.
Oh.
Yes, you're right. The moon prayer blossoms.
Ooh, look! Look!
Moon prayer night has come. The moon. It's so beautiful.
Happy Moon Prayer Night, dear.
Happy Moon Prayer Night!
Happy Moon Prayer Night.
Aww.
Huh.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh. Looks like the time has come.
Columbina. You're heading off, then?
Yes, to the ruins you mentioned, and from there, back home to the moon.
Wait! I know? At least...
Take one of our craft shop's crumb cookies up to the moon with you. You know, for a snack.
Sure, why not?
The Curatorium of Secrets believes in proper farewells. No story should be left without a satisfactory endnote.
Never.
Farewells are an important affair for the Ratniki, too. We never know when we might meet again.
Haha! And here I thought grand farewells wouldn't suit tonight's mood. But I suppose friendly passion is not to be stopped, eh?
We made a little something for you, Columbina. Ta-da!
What is it?
A Moon Prayer Night greeting card with drawings by all of your friends.
You did mention that you'd like a portrait done, so I took the liberty of creating one for you.
I, meanwhile, did the portrait of Mr. Albedo, and Mr. Varka did the same for me.
I mean, I think my work was pretty true to life, don't you think?
The picture of Ashru was my doing. The two of you seem to get along rather well.
Wait, was I the only one who did a full body picture? That's so embarrassing.
I did pictures of me and Anefa.
I did my own portrait and one for Hat Guy.
Plus, there's the two mages, Arlecchino and Sandrune. So, if you ever miss us, just flip the card open and we'll all be right there with you.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much, everyone. This whole moon prayer night was more than I could have ever asked for. It is the greatest gift I have ever received. Lama, I figured it out.
Figured what out?
Remember how the Frost Moon Scions used to use milk as invisible ink to write hidden messages?
That was a very long time ago. Oh, are you saying?
Yes. When I miss you all, I shall use moonlight in the same way to write words that only you can see upon the moon itself.
Wow, that sounds lovely.
Quite. But how will we see them?
Simply open your windows on nights when the moon shines bright, and the moonlight will naturally flow towards the words I have written.
That sounds most fitting indeed. Very true to form.
I'll try to write them in places that won't disturb your sleep.
I, for one, would sleep all the better for having read one of your messages before settling down for the night.
Exactly. So don't worry about disturbing anyone's sleep. Just promise you'll write to let us know you're okay, all right?
All right. I promise.
In that case, Columbina?
I'm ready. Very well. Let's go. In just a few moments, I will be gone. I still don't know what to expect on the moon. Will I really be able to send messages to my friends? The Kuhenki, the animals of Nod-Krai. I'll never get to see them again. I wonder where I'll be when the next moon prayer night comes. This is where the people of Hyperborea used to communicate with the moons.
Eternal moon, frost moon, iridescent moon. When the power of all three converge,
the gate to the moons shall open.
Moon marrow preparations are complete. Only the final step remains.
I'm sure Nasha Town is livelier than ever at this moment.
Yeah, it's a shame you couldn't be there for it, but it's now or never, right?
It's fine. I'm more than happy with this. My last piece of luggage. My only piece of luggage. I can already feel the moon calling to me.
Your home lies on the far side of this light, Columbina.
From now on, we will at last have a reason to pray to the true moon.
Columbina.
Yes? I'm listening.
Be sure to come back and see us when you get the chance.
Of course.
But if that chance doesn't come, then remember that you have friends on this planet. People who will miss Columbina.
I will. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And remember, come night or day, the moonlight shall always connect us. Well then, farewell, my friends. Thank you. This was my happiest night in Tevat.
Farewell, Columbina.
The moon really is closer than ever tonight.
Columbina.
All 3 moons in one place. Time for one final experiment. Reason, life, death, time, and space. They all believed I would fail. But Tevat's primordial power never did belong to the throne of heaven. And now, they are mine.
Is free to wield the 3 moons' power. It's the only way. I guess I won't be going home today.
Columbina! No!
World, do not try to control me!
Columbina.
Are you all right? Do your wounds still hurt? I had someone prepare a little medicine that could prove effective. Take it if you need to.
In that case, let me relate the contents of the call we made to Alice after the incident occurred.
that Dottore is a crafty one. He distracted the Hexenzirkel by creating a huge fuss at Tevat's borders. I'd assumed that the cause was an abyssal intrusion from the outside world, which in fairness is a rather common occurrence. But after learning that you managed to influence the phantoms in Nod-Krai, I realized that perhaps this interference could have come from within Tevat instead.
But we weren't able to change their fates.
True, you couldn't change how their stories ended, but you did build some variables around yourself.
Variables?
Yes, things you heard that you could not otherwise have learned, ideas that would otherwise have never crossed your mind. All these things are variables. Of course, most variables usually pale into insignificance with the myriad of possibilities floating around. But the moment you start treating them as building blocks and intentionally stacking them, that changes things. That's what Dottore did, and it's how he created the necessary conditions so that when you activated the portal tonight, it played right into his plan.
However, we have no way of knowing exactly what he did.
Yeah, we also need to ascertain Columbina's status.
And that about sums it up.
As I suspected, Dottore has disappeared completely. If it's any consolation, he wasn't able to control Columbina as he might have wished to.
Oh no! What? She did what? All we saw was Dottore appeared and used some kind of power. The next thing we knew, he and Columbina were gone and you were falling into the sea.
So, Columbina intentionally opened the Moon Gate and escaped into the same mysterious world as Rerir and Thalindis.
Sounds like bad news.
Seen in that way, the Trilunar Syzygy and Revir's emergence, Dottore might have been pulling the strings in both cases. According to Miss Alice, he is attempting to transcend his destiny and finish an experiment that only a god might complete.
An utter lunatic.
Wait a sec, where's Hat Guy? Seems like he'd want to be here for this.
He took off with the Dodo communication device after we spoke to Alice. He said he had a hunch that he wanted to investigate by himself. The look on his face was terrifying. I've never seen him like that before.
I'm back.
Hat Guy!
I went to look for the Hyperborean phantoms again. I think I've gotten to the bottom of it. I got them to talk to Nicole on the other end of the communications line. Turns out, the history they describe is different from how Nicole remembers it.
Really? But how? Surely Nicole can't have been wrong.
Because the phantoms are the ones who are deceived. They speak of a savior who appeared in their history. One who never should have existed. This savior promised to create a new moon within the false sky, and even bring back their moon goddesses. Foolishly, they believed in him, and told him everything he wanted to know about the moons. It's obvious that this was Dottore's doing.
Now you mention it, the first time we entered the Hyperborean ruins, We heard the Phantoms discussing their history, and I remember Nicole commenting that something sounded a little strange.
But Dottore shouldn't have been able to get in there in the first place.
He didn't. Nicole said that this was an anomalous state triggered by disruptions in the causal connections between phantoms from the same era. The variables that Dottore put in place were substantial enough that they even affected phantoms that he never met.
So it's not that their memories were unclear. They'd been tampered with.
That's exactly the possibility Dottore was trying to manufacture. He turned these variables into knowledge and engineered the situation so all that knowledge would fall into his hands. Then, he harnessed that knowledge on Moon Prayer Night to truly create a false moon.
How is that even possible?
To be precise, he exploited a weakness in the way the spell works. The spell senses Kuvaki to detect the moon's location. So, as long as the false moon more strongly resembled the moon than the frost moon beyond the skies, the gate would teleport Columbina to the false moon's location. In other words, to Dottore's side. Once he had her under control, the teleportation spell remained active, and he manipulated her power to seize both moon marrows.
At that moment, the moon marrows disappeared right before our eyes. It was already too late, even as we were leaving the ruins.
By then, Dottore had already amassed the power of all 3 moons.
So, where does that leave us? What do we do now?
I'd certainly like to know what Her Majesty thinks, now that the concerns I expressed to her have come to pass. But we cannot simply sit and wait for her to decide the matter. And in any case, it is not the Fatui Harbinger Damselette who sees us as her friends, but rather Columbina Hyposelenia. If, even in such extreme circumstances, Her Majesty will not lift the prohibition on Harbingers drawing steel against one another, then I will do as my heart demands. I will fight as Peruware instead.
Oh, Arlecchino!
Time is short, so I'll make the first move.
Whew. Even Arlecchino seems to be losing her cool now.
All right. Lose those dejected looks for a moment and let me get a word in. It looks bad, I won't lie. Very bad, in fact. So Dottore's pulled some real dirty tricks to gain the upper hand. For now. And yeah, it's to the point where even the mages say that his variables have affected destiny. I'm not so sure, though. Many have told me that Tevat's destiny is fixed, and that does appear to be the case. Well, what makes Dottore so sure he'll be the exception? And since he was able to stack these variables up, who's to say we can't do the same? You of all people should not be discouraged, traveler from afar. This isn't over yet. And you're not alone in that. Everyone here does, whether they've spoken thus far or not. But none of us are the type to sit back and wait for the sun to shine again. That's exactly how a knight should roll. If they knock you down, you get back up and get back in it. Don't forget, Honorary Knight, you're a legitimate member of Mondstadt too.
Mark is right. This is far from over. Dottore's already way overdue a butt-kicking given his past shenanigans. And after this, he's earned himself a double dose.
That's what I'm talking about. How's everyone else feeling?
I'll use Kuvaki to investigate Columbina's whereabouts. I am not ready to give up either.
Leave the intel gathering to me. Whatever happens within Nod-Krai's borders, when the Curatorium of Secrets wants to be in the know, we always find a way.
Aino and I will do all we can to support you. We will attempt to reverse engineer Dotori's actions and seek a breakthrough that way.
Alice and Nicole are busy dealing with an emergency at Tevat's borders, so they can't return just yet. But they're both very angry about this. They've asked Albedo and me to act on the Hexen Circle's behalf and do everything in our power to fight back against Dotori.
Are you ready then? We're going to have to conduct a lot of research, even in the early stages.
I'll do my best.
As for me, I'm pretty familiar with Dotori's way of doing things, so I can try to predict his next move. I'll help with your investigation.
Nice! Looks like we have our basic division of labor. I'll get in touch with Flints and Itlua, get them to have a chat with their Starshiner. It couldn't hurt to bring the Lightkeepers on board as well. At the same time, I'll pass on instructions to the Knights present in Nod-Krai to assist the Lightkeepers and other organizations in ensuring the safety of those living here.
Yeah! We'll show him!
That's it then. Good luck, everyone.
I never thought that Columbina would become my real name. It went from being a Fatui code name to something my friends call me. And remember, come night or day, the moonlight shall always connect us.